In the brutal deserts of Tunisia, the Allied forces captured one of Hitler's highest-ranking commanders. But when General George S. Patton arrived at the makeshift prisoner holding area, he didn't demand an interrogation. Instead, he ordered his men to protect the defeated enemy general. Why did Patton, a man known for his fiery impatience, show such profound respect to the man he had just crushed? May 12, 1943. The sun beat down on the hills of North Africa, baking the red earth into dust. This was the final, choking gasp of the Axis presence in Tunisia. Operation Vulcan had succeeded, trapping nearly 250,000 German and Italian troops. The stench of spent gunpowder and despair hung heavy in the air, a sign that the relentless North African campaign was finally concluding. The prize sought by the American II Corps, commanded briefly by Patton, was the ultimate sign of victory, the capture of the enemy's commanding officer. Generaloberst Hans-Jürgen von Arnim, the commander of Army Group Afrika, sat in a shallow depression, his uniform torn and covered in grit. He had inherited the impossible task of defending Tunisia after the removal of Rommel. For weeks, von Arnim had orchestrated a tenacious, brutal defense, buying time for an impossible evacuation that never came. Now, the overwhelming roar of American tanks signaled the absolute end of his command, and the sacrifice of thousands of his men. American patrols discovered him near the town of St. Cyprien. Von Arnim made no attempt to resist. The moment was anticlimactic. A dusty jeep arrived, and the exhausted German general, still projecting dignity despite his defeat, was taken into custody. For the young GIs guarding him, this was a moment of chaotic triumph, a symbol of their victory over the dreaded Afrika Korps. They wanted answers, and quickly. As von Arnim was processed, the scene was disorganized and aggressive. Young American intelligence officers, fueled by adrenaline and the desire for actionable combat details, began immediate, harsh questioning. They were focused only on finding the locations of residual enemy strongpoints and mines. To them, von Arnim was not a fellow professional soldier, he was merely a source of vital intelligence, and a high-value trophy to be paraded. Word traveled fast up the chain of command. Von Arnim, the last great German commander in Africa, was captured. General Patton, now preparing for the invasion of Sicily, took a detour. He sped across the broken roads in his command car, intent on meeting the man who had proven himself such a formidable adversary. Patton believed that the way one treated a defeated enemy reflected not on the enemy, but on the conqueror. Patton arrived, his boots gleaming despite the desert conditions, his personal presence immediately commanding attention. He surveyed the chaotic scene, the tired, aggressive young officers surrounding the silent, weary von Arnim. Patton observed the indignity of the hurried interrogation, the lack of protocol, and the raw triumph of his subordinates, and he disapproved instantly. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so now. It helps us bring you more incredible stories from history. Patton walked directly toward the captured Generaloberst, ignoring the frantic salute of his own staff. He approached von Arnim, stopping just a few feet away. He did not speak immediately, instead, he studied the German officer's face, the exhaustion, the deep lines of stress, and the military bearing that still remained intact. This was the moment of decision. Patton spoke in precise, formal German, addressing the captured man by his full rank, Generaloberst von Arnim. He offered a firm but respectful handshake, startling everyone present. Patton then turned to his own staff and delivered a blistering, quiet order. General von Arnim is an officer of the highest rank. He is to be treated with the respect due his position. End this circus. He will be secured and given proper facilities immediately. This was the core of Patton's protection. He was not protecting von Arnim from imprisonment, but from unnecessary degradation and the emotional chaos of the front line. Patton immediately ended the impromptu interrogation, ensuring that von Arnim was offered food, clean water, and a comfortable seat, an act designed to restore the dignity stripped away by battle. Patton understood that generals, regardless of the cause they serve, adhered to a shared professional code. He saw von Arnim not as a Nazi ideologue, which he largely was not, but as a brilliant military technician who fought hard for his country. Patton believed that showing respect to such a foe solidified his own reputation and elevated the professionalism of the American fighting force. In a brief but vital conversation, conducted away from intelligence microphones, Patton and von Arnim discussed the technical aspects of the North African campaign. Patton famously later remarked that von Arnim was a clean fighting professional. This wasn't merely courtesy, it was professional acknowledgement. This respect guaranteed von Arnim relative calm during his initial processing, safeguarding him from harsher treatment that often befell high-value prisoners taken in the heat of battle. Patton's act ensured von Arnim was quickly moved to a dedicated facility, away from the chaos and potential reprisals of the front line. Patton knew that dignity was a weapon. By treating his opponent honorably, he reinforced the idea to his own troops that they were fighting a civilized, professional war, even while facing the most brutal elements of the German military machine. This incident is a powerful testament to the idea of military honor transcending national boundaries. Patton, a general often misunderstood as purely aggressive, upheld the highest traditions of warfare by recognizing the courage and sacrifice displayed by a defeated professional soldier. The heat, the dust, the fear all evaporated in that moment of quiet, shared understanding between two warriors who had just finished one of history's most dramatic duels. The protection Patton afforded von Arnim was a demonstration of self-discipline and respect for the uniform. It became a quiet legend among the troops, reinforcing the American commitment to the laws of war, even when faced with an enemy fighting a totalitarian regime. Patton didn't just win the battle, he won the peace of mind of his defeated opponent, setting an indelible example of command conduct. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more amazing World War II stories.